Okay, good evening, Osoyoos. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jason Bart. I'm a local dentist here in Osoyoos, a husband and father of two boys, aged 4 and 6. The main reason that I'm here tonight, and I'm sure that a lot of you are here tonight, is that we all share a common and undying passion for the community of Osoyoos, our quality of life, our way of life, and the things that we hold near and dear to our heart. I currently serve as the spokesperson for the Osoyoos Community School Committee and have been asked by the committee to represent them at this meeting. Just before we move into some of the programs for tonight, the forms that you've been handed at the door, we encourage everybody to take a minute and fill them out. But we'd also like you to hear what we have to say, so try not to jump the gun. I know we've got a lot of educators in the room, but please try not to jump the gun. Hear what we have to say, and give us your honest and candid feedback after you've heard what we've had to say and the discussion around the tables with your peers shortly after. The idea of an independent school, to be clear, is not my idea. The idea and the concept of an independent school, or the Osoyoos version of an independent school, I feel came as a manifestation of the public school closure process. And through that process, that idea or that concept, at least to me, seemed to gain momentum. And as the procedure and as the closure process was working toward the 12th hour, we could see the writing on the wall which way this was going. And our motivation or determination to provide an opportunity or to educate our kids in our own community grew even stronger. After the school board at the last meeting voted the way that they did, and nothing really happened immediately after, I felt obligated or obliged to do what I felt I could for this community with respect to bringing people together. I have the opportunity to meet and interact with a lot of you on a daily basis, and for those of you that know, in a fairly intimate way. But with respect to that, I have the opportunity to meet and talk to a lot of people every day, 5 days a week, 240 days a year. I have an opportunity to discuss matters of the community with everybody. And in my little office poll, there was a willingness to see if this opportunity or this option would be viable and or potentially successful for the community of Osoyoos. That's why I'm here. I have also asked to stand beside me tonight a member of the community, Mrs. Kuldeep Rai, who will be here to translate all of the presentation into Punjabi to ensure that there is clarity in the room for everybody. The Osoyoos Community School Committee was put together as a way to kickstart the investigation into the viability of an independent school in Osoyoos through a collection of professionals, community members, and parents with varying backgrounds in education, business, and government, but with a common belief that education in our community is a core service, something that our community cannot be without. The community's objective is to initiate and implement a viable Plan B for education in our community. Please make no mistake that Plan A has always been to keep our high school open, and continues to be Plan A. But we are equally committed to providing and exploring the viability of a locally driven community school if in fact the local high school is forced to close by School District 53. My role this evening is that of moderator. I feel that one of the skill sets that I do present and I do bring to the table is that I have the ability to bring people together. My role is to provide information on what the committee has learned so far, to provide the answers to the questions that many of you have, and to move us through the objectives of this forum this evening. Providing information, stimulating conversation, and collecting information, as well as questions and concerns from all of you. We will then discuss the next steps and what we have ahead of us. Our primary objective is to provide current, accurate, and honest information about an independent school for Osoyoos. And I'd like to discuss now the format for this evening's meeting. We're going to open the meeting this evening with some opening remarks from our acting mayor, Councillor CJ Rhodes. He's going to be updating us on all the actions and activities of the town council and the administration. I will then present information that the Osoyoos Community School Committee is currently found and has on a prospective community school in Osoyoos. And then we are going to invite all of you to participate in a visioning table session. The table sessions will be hosted by volunteer facilitators to generate discussion and feedback on several topics.
So first of all, thank you very much everyone. You come out from the busy schedule. So as a committee member, I would like to translate in Punjabi. So the discussion for today is very important for everyone to understand what's going on in the community. So ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਸੀਜੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਉਹ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੂਗੀ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚੀ ਹੈ, ਲਾਈਕ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਂ ਬੋਰਡ ਬਾਰੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲੀ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਤੀਸਰਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਟੇਬਲ ਸੈਟਅਪ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਬੋਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆਈਡੀਆਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਬੇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਗਾਂਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਸਟੈਪ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪਰਸੈਂਟ ਕਿੱਧਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜੋ ਆਪਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਨੇ ਡਰੌਪ ਬਾਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਇਓ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਪਾਸ ਡਾਊਨ ਟੂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਾਚ।
Thank you, Kuldeep. The table session topics for this evening, and the committee has broken them down into 4 open-ended topics, but topics that we feel are important in moving forward. I'll explain that in a minute. The first is the parent and student expectations. We want to know what you as parents and students expect of an independent school in Osoyoos. That's important. That's probably one of the most important, is what do you expect of us? What do you expect the committee to deliver? What do you expect the school to deliver in terms of your level of education and outcomes? We'd like to also know what your needs are, and literally, what would it take for you to enroll your child in the Osoyoos Community School? Thirdly, partnerships. And partnerships is general on purpose, but we're asking about partnerships with respect to educational models, fundraising, and other related strategic partnerships that would be necessary to make this happen. And finally, the last topic for our table sessions this evening will be participation. And how do you see yourself participating? At the back of the room, we have a table set up, as has been thrown around the room a few times, as what we call a brain bank. We feel that this is an important tool that the implementation of an independent school in Osoyoos would draw upon. As I mentioned before, the diversity and the experiences of this community is something that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of. And as such, it would be remiss for us to move forward without delving into that experience, that knowledge, and the general combined IQ of this room and the community at large. So what we would ask is, if you are interested or willing and or able to participate in any way, shape, or form, whether that be banging nails to strategic development or strategic planning in terms of educational curriculum development, anything that you feel would be relevant to this process, we encourage you to sign your name at the back with some degree of recognition in terms of your experience, what you would be willing, or what kind of role do you feel that you could bring to this process?
ਸਾਰੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਕੀ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੀਡਸ ਕੀ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਕੀ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਪ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਆਊਗਾ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ। ਤੇ ਲਾਸਟ ਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਲਾਈਕ टाउन का स्कूल हो जाए। सो टाउन के पूरे हर एक परसन की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बन जाएगी उस स्कूल की संभाल करनी, केयर करनी, वो हर छोटी मोटी चीज़ लेके वो जो भी लोड़ है वो आप पूरी करनी। सो वो वास्ते तुसी वॉलंटियर कर सकते हो, तुसी डोनेशन कर सकते हो, तुसी किस टाइप का मतलब स्कूल के किसी तरह का काम कर सकते हो। सो वो पार्टिसिपेट तुसी किस तरीके नाल कर सकते हो।
And finally, in terms of participation, those feedback forms, that's the first step in the participation process, and we would love to hear from you, some of your feedback, not just from the meeting, but some suggestions, anything that you feel that you can offer to the process in addition to your participation at the table sessions this evening. And then finally, we will wrap the meeting following the table sessions, and highlight the next steps and a timeline for the next steps and the process that we have ahead of us. And at this time, I'd like to call upon Acting Mayor C.J. Rhodes to open our meeting.
Thank you, Jason. That was great. Even the translation part of it was unexpected, but pretty darn cool, so thank you for that. Good evening, everyone. My name is C.J. Rhodes, and on behalf of the town of Osoyoos, I would like to welcome everyone here tonight. First, I'd like to pass on regrets from Mayor McCordoff, Councillor King, and Councillor Campbell. Councillor Youngberg was supposed to be here tonight. I have not seen her yet, but if she does not show up, she's as regretful as the rest of us. What a magnificent community we live in. When I see 20% of our population turn out to the various meetings we've had over the last few months, I am filled with pride. You know, the greater Vancouver area has a population base of 2.5 million people. That would be the equivalent of 500,000 people showing up for an event in Vancouver. I don't even think the Rolling Stones could achieve that. Let me reassure everyone that there is strength in numbers, and community pride is a powerful catalyst for change. Each and every resident that has been engaged in this process over the last little while has shown common sense, logic, and sound reasoning. And when the unthinkable happens to a community like Osoyoos, it is the resolve of its residents that brings out the best of everything. Town Council is not done fighting to keep the school open. There is still hope that the trustees of School District 53 will listen to the voters that elected them into office and do the right thing and respect the will of the people. To do otherwise, to do the unthinkable, shows their lack of respect for the democratic process. The town is currently, I have to qualify this next paragraph that I'm reading, it's from our legal department, so if I stumble and bumble with it, I didn't write it, I'll try to get my across. The town is currently examining all of the possible legal avenues to prevent the closure of the Osoyoos Secondary School. This is a complicated matter with no simple options. One of the options could include a judicial review of the school board's decision to close the high school. A judicial review is a court proceeding that determines whether or not the school board failed to follow proper and reasonable steps in coming to its decision to close the high school. The town is also looking into the possibility of an injunction. An injunction is a court proceeding to prevent the school board from closing Osoyoos Secondary School. If a judge agrees to grant the injunction, this would provide a short-term, temporary measure to stop the closure of the school. The town will continue to assess these options and determine the best course of action on the basis of the legal advice that we receive over the next little while. That's the legal opinion from our lawyers, the town lawyers. So in addition to that, and before the decision date, the town will provide a comprehensive list of areas that support cost savings to School District 53 of $352,000 annually for the next 3 years. And for anybody that's read the paper, they all have I just wanted to mention that some of the highlights of this proposal, in case you have not heard about it, include a parcel tax levy that would be designated by a referendum, manpower and equipment supplied by the town, which would form the basis of grass cutting and certain maintenance items like that, and water and sewer concessions from not only the town, but we will be pitching everybody in every community that's within the school district. So finally, I'd like to encourage and urge everyone to not give up. Demonstrate your resolve, demonstrate your compassion, and demonstrate your passion to keep this school open, however and whenever it's possible. Thank you very much.
Town of Osoyoos is the school closer ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾਇਆ। ਸੋ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਟਾਊਨ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਟਾਊਨ 3 ਲੈਟਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਨਵਰੀ 13 ਤੋਂ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਆਇਆ ਸਕੂਲ ਕਲੋਜ਼ਰ ਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਨੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਨੇ 3 ਲੈਟਰ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਬੋਰਡ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਮਾਈਕ ਵਰਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ। ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਲੈਟਰ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਪਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬੋਰਡ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਾਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ 5,37,000 ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਉਹ 5,37,000 ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਨੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਆਫ ਅਸੋਇਸ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿਰ ਲੈਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਖਰਚਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਓਪਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ 3,52,000 ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ, ਬਾਕੀ ਜੋ ਘਾਹ ਕੱਟਣਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਛੱਡਣਾ, ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਦੀ ਮੇਨਟੇਨੈਂਸ, ਇਵਨ ਬਿੱਲ ਬੱਤੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ 3 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ $1 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਉਹ ਕੱਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਨੇ ਆਫਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਬੋਰਡ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਡਿਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਤੱਕ, ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਡਿਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਬਦਲ ਵੀ ਸਕਦਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਦਮ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਆਫ ਅਸੋਇਸ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈਲਪਫੁਲ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਸੋਚਿਆ। ਜੇ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ 27 ਨੂੰ, ਸੋ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਸਟੈਪ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਵਕੀਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਉਹ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਮਾਮਲਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਟਾਊਨ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੋਂ 2 ਸਟੈਪ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਖੜਾ ਹੈ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
moving into the information presentation portion of this evening, we all have questions surrounding what an Osoyoos community school or an independent school in our community would in fact look like. We all have questions about where it would be, how much it would cost, and we've heard many times, just being in town, being polled by residents, by you folks, and up until this point we really didn't have a lot of answers. We can share some of those answers as best we can this evening. Again, some of the questions that you are going to have are going to be very specific, ones that we cannot answer and will come out in the process. However, we do encourage you to provide those questions for us so that we can get you the answers as we move along. The major questions that we've heard many times is where would the new school be? Another popular one is what would it look like, what would it offer, and of course the million-dollar question is how much would it cost? Let's answer these three questions. The very first question that we have is location. Location. There are truly only two real potential facilities in this community for a school, and one of them is controlled by the school board. So I'll have you know that our committee has put in a formal request to Mayor and Council to have the Sonora Centre considered for our new school. Now, there are so many positives to the usage of this facility as a community school that we could talk for an hour about the positives and the benefits. The request that has been received by Council, they will be deliberating on this issue and making a formal decision very soon. But keep in mind, remember, this is the very same Council that has demonstrated over and over again that they are committed to seeing education succeed in our community. And the committee is confident that we will have their support. There are other user groups that need to be considered that are going to be affected by this. And all of their needs must be taken into consideration. But we want to assure everybody, as a committee, each and every group will be taken care of to ensure minimal interruption.
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਕਿ ਸੋਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਲੇਸਿਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਸਨੋਰਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਆ। ਹਾਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਲੈਫਟ ਓਵਰ ਦਾ ਸਨੋਰਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ। ਸੋ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜੇਸਨ ਵਾਟ ਨੇ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲੈਟਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਸਨੋਰਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਆਉਣ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਡਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਉਹ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਆਹ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ। ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ 100% ਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਯੂਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੋਰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਜੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਪੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਪਿਆ ਵਾ, ਪਰ ਪਲੇਸ ਆਹ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਸਨੋਰਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
The second of the three main questions has to do with an educational model in terms of what would the school look like. With the funding formula of an independent school, starting one from the ground up typically results in little to no funding for the first year. Not to mention the timelines that are involved in pulling that off are clearly prohibitive to provide a quality educational product. As a result, we have sought out several schools to seek potential partnerships, with the sole purpose of using their model as an umbrella for our school, at least initially. The committee is making academics their primary focus and seeking partnership opportunities with academically successful programs. Partnerships do not result in our school losing any of its control. Quite the opposite. Our condition would be that our school would control the quality of education, adhere to and exceed the new BC curriculum, employ BC certified teachers, guarantee that our students are post-secondary ready, and ensure that our students receive the very best education possible. On that note, there is no flexibility. We are actively seeking and entertaining any partnerships that are interested in this model, and are open to and have already spoken to several. We've had several discussions with one particular school in Kelowna that is very interested in partnering with our community. The name of that school is Studio 9 Independent School of Arts in Kelowna. Their model is an arts-based elective model currently. They have been using the BC curriculum already and have achieved a greater than 98% student retention rate year over year. Now, this is just one of the options that our community is currently actively exploring along with others, but I thought I'd update you on this one. Their model is flexible, and their administration is willing and comfortable with modifying their arts electives to include sports, trades, or arts, all of the programs that are so important to our community. They have the administration, the human resources, and the infrastructure in place, and have assured us that they could have our school running by September the 9th. They have offered the flexibility in this partnership to be either a short-term solution to our immediate problem and allow us to work under their Category 1 certification at 50% funding, while offering us the flexibility to modify the program as the community requires. Operating under their umbrella would give our school access to their 50% per student provincial funding formula. They have also indicated that they would also be open to a longer-term partnership. That is another decision that will be left to our school administration. They have, however, requested from us feedback from you. What do you want from a community school? This feedback is critical for the community to get back to them, so that they may generate the answers to a lot of the more specific questions that you have on your minds. Our intent tonight is to take the feedback provided from you to them and others, so that we may prepare an information session to provide further details and address every one of your concerns and desires.
So ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਣੂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲਣਗੀਆਂ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਟਾਫ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਲਾਈਕ ਮਾਡਲ ਦੇ ਅੰਡਰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਫੰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ, 1 ਸਾਲ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫੰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਟਾਈਮ ਬਹੁਤ ਥੋੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਸਤੰਬਰ ਤੱਕ 2 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1 ਸਾਲ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਫੰਡ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਚੱਲੂਗਾ, ਪਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਹੱਕ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਚਲਾਉਣਾ ਵਾ, ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫੰਡ ਮਿਲਣਾ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਰਡ ਹੁਣੇ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ BC ਕਰਕੂਲਮ, ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਪੂਰੀ BC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਮ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਸੇਮ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਨੇ ਕਲੋਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਕੂਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਟਰਮ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਰੋ ਚਾਹੇ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਰੋ। ਜੇ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਟਰਮ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਡਿਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਅਜੇ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਡਿਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਟਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਾਇਦਾ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੀ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲੋਗੇ। ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਫਰ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ, ਐਕੈਡੈਮਿਕ ਗ੍ਰੇਡ 12 ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੋ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ, ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਸੇ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਫਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ। ਪਰ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਹੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਅਸੋਇਸ ਦਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ ਚੁਆਇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਫਰ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਤੰਬਰ 1 ਨੂੰ ਸਕੂਲ ਓਪਨ ਕਰ ਦਾਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਧਰ ਲਾਈਕ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਟਰਮ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਟਸ ਵੈਰੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ।
Finally, what would it cost? Some of that's information is going to come from you, the information that you provide with us for us tonight. Namely, how many of you are going to give this serious consideration? Because the cost of running a program is largely dependent on enrollment. If at the end of the evening you feel this is worth your consideration for your family, at the very least, then we need to hear from you. Please sign your interested family form or fill out the register at the back. Either one of those vehicles are acceptable for us to take to our partners to show them that we're serious and to back up the talk with some tangible numbers. That's the only way that we can answer the question about cost. But I will tell you what our goal is. Our goal is through various fundraising efforts, both public, corporate, and community, is to ensure the cost of families is nominal and minimal. But the goal is to provide the highest level of quality education, stressing academic excellence and post-secondary competency for your families in our hometown.
ਜੇ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੰਡ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੰਡ ਰੇਜ਼ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੰਥਲੀ ਫੀਸ ਲੱਗੂਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਹੋਊਗੀ। ਸੋ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਾਸਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਰੱਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਉਹੀ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਪੂਰੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ। % ਐਵਰੇਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, 98% ਐਵਰੇਜ ਉਸ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਉਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੰਡ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ। ਫਿਰ ਫੰਡ ਰੇਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਵਾ ਜਾਂ ਮੰਥਲੀ ਫੀਸ ਲੱਗੂਗੀ, ਉਹ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਰਜਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਡਿਵਾਈਡ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕਾਸਟ ਪਰ ਮੰਥ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਲੋ ਕਾਸਟ ਰੱਖਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ।
What we would like to do now is to encourage and invite all of you to participate in our table sessions. We'd like to provide at the very least 30 minutes for good discussion on the topics mentioned. If we need more time, I promise I will not cut you off. We do, however, have to wrap up by 8 o'clock. We would like to invite anyone to participate. We'd encourage parents and students, of course. We want to hear from you. The more students that are participating in these table sessions, the better. Of course, the parents are going to be eager to participate. And those of you that have absolutely no ties to children in this community are just interested in the well-being of our community as a community, we would also encourage you to participate. Our facilitators or table facilitators are there to guide and record your feedback and gather information as we've talked about this evening related to these topics. If you have questions, they will write them down and the committee will get them to our prospective partners for clarity and ensure that all of your questions are answered at the next public information meeting. After our table sessions are concluded, we will all reconvene for a brief wrap-up and we will discuss the next steps in the process and adjourn the meeting. So I'd encourage you all, please find a seat at the tables. I will be milling about. If there's specific questions that you feel I may be able to answer, I will be available. This is where we want to become a community. So please, everybody get involved. So it's clear that the logistics of the room are going to be prohibitive from everybody sitting at a table. So when we've reached kind of our table limit, we would encourage those of you that are interested in participating to form a cluster in these chairs, and we will provide a facilitator for your group. the committee. And remember, I'm just the lucky soul that got the short straw to stand up in front of you here. But there's an awful lot of people that have put an awful lot of time and effort into this, even now, at this early stage. And I'd like to thank them. But I also would like to very much thank you all for your participation this evening. And just some of the very small straw polls that I was a part of during this process makes me even more proud to be from Osoyoos. And this exercise tonight, I feel, has yielded and developed a tremendous amount of positivity towards educating our kids and keeping our kids at home. And I want to thank you all for your commitment to that. So where do we go from here? And I think that it's safe to say that a lot of the information, a lot of the feedback that at least that I was witness to, and some of the comments that I was made during the sessions are only going to foster more information for you. It's going to be the community's objective now to get that information to our prospective partners here and get you the answers that you deserve. So from here, we are going to encourage the partners that are very serious about putting this together to step up, answer these questions, and then provide you with a community information session. That's the next step as we see it in this early stage. And then from there, it will basically become a decision for families as to, is this something that you want? So that decision is coming, and we want to bring it to a head as quickly as we can for you. We understand that the pressures, the anxiety that does exist, that has been unfairly put on you, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. And I thank you all for contributing to the various resources. I encourage you to make sure that you've registered on the brain bank on the table at the back. Please make sure that you have filled out your interest form, some feedback just from the format of the evening as well, some generalities, did this work, those sorts of things. But more importantly than that, we want to know what your opinion is, what you need answered to enroll your child in the Osoyoos Community School. So there's more answers to come. We're going to be contacting all of you and putting out information with respect to the coming events as soon as we get those answers. And on behalf of the entire committee, I would like to thank our acting mayor, CJ Rhodes, and the entire town council and the administration for their leadership and action in this extremely difficult times. I'd like to thank Kuldeep Ray for translating tonight and making sure that the message that we're sending out is clear to every member of our community. And thank you to the students that are here and in attendance. And for those of you that are up past your bedtime, oh, my kids are not here, they left. For your participation in the evening tonight. And this is about you guys. This is about building something for you and your future to ensure that you get the quality education that this community and your families feel that you deserve. And other than that, I want to just say a huge thank you, and we will ensure on behalf of our committee that to the students that we will make your school phenomenal.
I would like to say thank you for everyone, and I'm going to say translate in Punjabi in a minute too, but it's very important, like kids are priority, and education, we'd like to educate our kids in our town. So as you guys shown at the last public meetings or it's a small community, but it's a big unity in Osoyoos. So it's one more time, we want you to show that on April 27 at 7 p.m. at the school board in office. That's the decision will be made by then. So don't lose the hope. So we still have one more chance. Never know. So maybe we will win. So if we will win, then What's the decision for the independent school or what's the further decision? So everything is after that day. So it's the community we will have a meeting again and then try to pass this information as quickly as we can. So April 27 ਨੂੰ 7 ਵਜੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਆਉਣਾ। ਸੋ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨਿਟੀ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਸੋ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਵੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲੈਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਦਾ ਮੈਟਰ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਊਨ ਦਾ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਆ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲੈਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਅਗਲਾ ਸਟੈਪ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਬਣਾਏਗੀ। ਕਮੇਟੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ once again, thank you very much.
And just before we adjourn our meeting this evening, I'd like to provide the email address. There was some question about how can you reach us. This is the osoyoosstrong@gmail.com is the committee's email address, and that information is taken, it's printed, and it's distributed to every member of the committee at this point. And expect answers soon. And I wish I could define soon for you, but at this meeting I really can't. But you have our assurances that we will get the information that you need as soon as possible. Virginia, did you have something? My simple answer to that question is can we redraw the boundaries to join with a different school district to keep our school open? I guess my answer to that is that at this point, it's not the purpose of the committee that has been established here. Our purpose was to look at a viable plan B. As far as I'm concerned, that is still a plan A venture. It's not something that I have had the time, resources, or energy to look at myself. Brenda is probably the person to ask about that. She's saying that she has probably already had those discussions with the ministry. And do you want to speak to that or do? Okay, so what we'll do is as Brenda takes the microphone, we're going to adjourn the Osoyoos Committee School meeting and public forum on education. I thank you all for your attendance tonight, and if there is anybody that has any more questions that they feel that I may be of assistance to, I will be here. And I want to thank the town of Osoyoos, Barry Romenko, mayor and staff for making this facility possible, and all of you for your participation tonight. Have a nice evening. Drive safely.
His fast and simple answer was it wouldn't be beneficial to us. The goal of the provincial government right now is to do just like they did in healthcare, is to do the supersize. Right, our healthcare has moved slower. So in their goal in the long term is to have bigger school districts. So when I asked about smaller school districts, the quick answer they gave me was it would not work. I didn't pursue it after that. And I had asked that question, or perhaps even joining with Penticton. We did a bunch of research. Like, I have members here tonight from Save Our School Committee. There was 18 of us, and we were all assigned, and we all did separate research. So my quick answer to that they gave me is it wouldn't work. And we would be the last ones and the smallest ones, so we'd be the first ones to go. So from our committee perspective, we decided not to pursue that anymore. We have, however, looked into joining with 51. and they would be anxious to do that, but we'd have to get lots of provincial approval for that, and right now, we don't think that's an answer either. So 51, which is the boundary district. So it's a really spread out district, and they already are spread out, so for Osoyoos to join them, it may be an option, but right now that's at the back of the table. Like, it's something that may not work, or it may, but for us, that's not a priority right now. Does that answer your question? And I just before, if you guys want to have a discussion, I don't know what you want to do, but I just want to make sure everybody here knows, thank you to Jason, but also Save Our Schools Committee isn't gone anywhere. Everybody on Save Our Schools Committee is continuing to work as a partnership and supporting the Osoyoos Community School Committee. There's members from Save Our Schools that's also sitting on the Osoyoos School Committee. So just because we're not getting as much information out that we used to from Save Our Schools doesn't mean it's gone anywhere. We're still there, we're still working together. We had a meeting on Friday, we'll be having another meeting. And I just wanted to thank everybody in the community, because I'm still getting phone calls every day, and the momentum needs to keep up. We have to do this all together. We can't do it on our own. Osoyoos School Committee can't do it on our own. So we need to stay together, and we need to work together, and we need your feedback to make it work. But at the end of the day, my personal goal has not changed. My goal is to keep our kids in our community. They do not have to get on a bus. They will graduate. They will have all the courses they want. They will have teachers that are qualified to do the job, and we will have the education destination of British Columbia. So once again, just thank you everybody for coming.
Okay, so we're here with Jason. He was the moderator for this evening. So if you can just give everyone a quick wrap up. I mean, you did a fantastic job. I mean, you could tell you were speaking right from the heart. You could definitely feel that. And you know, you could see that a lot of parents are kind of wavering, like they're because I mean they want their kids in school for next year, you know, and so they're kind of, you know, what do we do? What do we do? What would be your message
to them?
Yeah.
I guess my message is that we're resolved to keep our kids educated in our town, and the proof is here tonight with the response of the community. And I think that ultimately the will of the community, as it appears tonight, is to move forward with a viable independent school. And at the end of the day, we're determined to provide our kids with a quality homegrown education.
Well, and that's a nice thing. Like, I mean, like you said, you're a dentist, right? You know, I mean, did you ever think for a second that you?
Not for 1 second. Not for 1 second.
But I mean, that's how communities are formed. It's formed by everybody just playing a role in our community and just stepping up to the plate when need be. And
it's the definition of community, right?
Yes, it is. You know, and it's a local supporting a local. It's not why I started it. It's nothing new. It's just to remind people of what the way we used to be, and that's what we got to start doing again. So, the email if they want to send out a message, if they want to help you guys.
Osoyoosstrong@gmail.com.
Osoyoosstrong@gmail.com. So by all means, send them, even if it's just moral support. Send something to these guys. I mean, you got our backing anytime we can help you.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah,
Okay.
love to put together a fundraiser for you.
Terrific. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys, for coming out.
Kevin here with Local Supporting Locals for another Heartbeat of the Okanagan. We're down here in Osoyoos as a follow-up to an education forum that took place since the decision that it looks like the school district 53 is taking to close the Osoyoos High School. And again, if you had seen our other previous video here, I've never seen such passion in my life for people, teachers, students that cared so much that are fighting now to form their own independent school. So I'm here with Victor. If you can introduce yourself.
Victor Vieira.
So if you can tell the folks that'll be watching this video, like what you guys are trying to achieve here.
I think the biggest part of the goal is best education for our kids possible. Keep our kids in Osoyoos. We want to give them the best education we possibly can, whether that be continued with the school district or whether it be independent. On a personal side, I'm a very strong supporter of the independent school. I'll do whatever it takes to get one. If we stay in a public school, I'm fine with that as well. But like I said, the ultimate goal is the best education we can possibly get for our children. That's the ultimate goal.
So the thing is because from what we're hearing, some parents are panicking since the last meeting and they're already leaving here. And the key here is not to lose faith. Like what I saw here tonight and what I saw the way people were gathering at tables coming up with solutions here, it's awesome. So what would you like to say in that regard?
I think the fact of the matter is after that final decision that was made, well, it's not the final decision, take that back.
Yeah.
But that decision that was made to close, let's say, a secondary school really took the wind out of a lot of people's sails. And it really just, okay, well, what do we do now? Where, in a sense, it should be okay. Monkeys off our back. We know what's happening now. We know what's going on. They've made their decision, so we need to we need to look forward. We need to take care of our community. We need to take care of our kids. So what do we need to do? We all need to get together. We all need to bind together as a community and fight to give our kids the best education we possibly can. And we've got a community that's gotten together that started that. That's doing an amazing job.
I know, and that's it. And I felt the same way after watching that last hearing and seeing how upset, but how energized. And even yourself saying you got energized, where some parents got discouraged. And it's the same message that we promote with locals supporting locals. We all need to come out and support one another.
Yes.
And just imagine the pride once you get this going. It's a struggle to begin with. Everything is. But you got some great connections there with potential schools like in Kelowna, what's going on here. But just imagine if you're part of that, and even when your kids leave the schools, and you're retired and you're driving down the road and you're passing the school and you're like, God damn, I was part of that.
Yeah. Well, it affects everybody. I mean, being educated in your own community, that's what we all want. When we grew up, I'm born and raised in Osoyoos. I live, breathe, and bleed this town. I love it. I'll do anything it takes. I'll do anything it takes for this town. And having to do this, if we have to put a private school an independent school in here, I'll do what it takes. And there's many people in this community that will do the same thing. It's been shown. We have 1,000 people show up for a meeting about closing our school. That's a pretty strong indication of how strong the community is about keeping this community together. So whether they decide to keep the school open or closed, I think community strong. Osoyoos strong. It's what it is. It's what it is.
Oh, I like that.
We are.
Already got shirts out.
Oh yeah, we're a strong community. We're fighting. This is for our kids. This is for our community. Everything we do is for us here. So we will do what it takes to give our kids the best education and keep them here. So that's the ultimate goal.
So just to throw out there for the folks that are watching this here, the email is osoyoosstrong@gmail.com.
Yes, osoyoosstrong@gmail.com.
Yeah, so if you got some support, this is what these guys are looking for. Even if it's just verbal support, they need some help here. The community needs to get connected here. So by all means, contact these guys, become involved. To me, part of this is really exciting to see this. Like Brenda just made a statement there at the end there, is the goal of our province here is to make super schools like they're doing with our healthcare and taking it away from the smaller towns and forcing us. So that's not going to stop. So in order to get that to stop, you got to take it back right here. And I'm excited.
We're all excited. No matter what happens, we're excited to see what's going to happen. Whether we stay with the district, whether we go independent, no matter what happens, we just got to keep forward. We just keep forward thinking. Keep forward. Just keep looking forward. Keep the eye on the prize and just whatever's best for the kids. We got to just do what it takes.
Well, you got our support, locals. Anything we can do to help promote. Share this video. Share this with everyone.
If there's any locals that are watching this, get involved. if you're from Osoyoos, if you're from Muller, if you're from the area, if you're interested, get involved. This isn't over yet.
Get excited.
If there's an inch left, let's grab that inch and let's keep fighting for it. And everybody needs to keep involved with this. I mean, we just gotta keep fighting for it.
Thank you very much, right there.
Thank you.
So we're here with Brenda. She's the organizer of Save Our Schools, Osoyoos. If you got a message for the folks here,
We're not done yet. We still have a third reading to go through. So that's Wednesday, April 27th, 7 o'clock in the Oliver School Board office. That's still Plan A. So once we know what's going on from there, then we'll go into Plan B. Plan B, as you see tonight, is independent school.
that was very exciting. We were speaking with Victor earlier, and independent sounds really good, but I mean, it's a lot easier if they didn't have to go down that route. But if you could tell folks how to find Save Our School, like maybe don't know where you are here. I mean, I know you pretty much knocked on every door. You yelled out loud enough here, but
Everybody knows where we are. So we have one Facebook page which is called Save Osoyoos Elementary Secondary School. So that's one page. Another one is Osoyoos Independence on Facebook.
okay. And also they can send an email to
An email to osoyoosstrong@gmail.com.
There you go. They already got shirts made. This
shirts.
rocks. We gotta get this going into picnic too.
This
Yes.
came about by a local business, Jamie from Unity.
Yeah.
He designed.
Love that guy.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Brenda. We're
Thank
going to
you.
set this up. Anything we can do, we're going to get this video to you as soon as possible, and hopefully you get shared.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.